Are you ready to hear a case that will get under your skin? Let's dive in on the story of Stephen Dean Gordon.
Right. This is the guy who committed a series of murders in Orange County, California, even while wearing a GPS ankle monitor. Insane, right?
Diabolical. What makes it even more disturbing is that he wasn't alone. He acted with Franc Cano, another registered sex offender. These two formed what the prosecutor called an efficient killing and evidence hiding machine.
Yeah, and their victims were all young women involved in sex work. Kiana Jackson, Josephine Vargas, Martha Anaya, and Jure Estep. 4 in total, but there might have been a 5th.
Exactly. And the terrifying part? Only Jure Estep's body was found. The others were never recovered. That discovery at a recycling plant is actually what cracked the case open.
It's surreal. These guys were literally tracked by GPS. You'd think that would be a deterrent, or at the very least a way to catch them early.
But the system failed. Gordon even said it outright. He blamed parole and probation officers, saying they didn't properly supervise him or prevent him from being around Cano, which, ironically, they weren't even supposed to be near each other.
Right? I mean, how does that happen? 2 sex offenders with tracking devices. And still, they managed to carry out multiple murders?
It's like they were hiding in plain sight. Gordon was even working at a body shop while living in an RV. They used trash bins for body disposal, timed with garbage pickup. That level of planning, it's calculated, not impulsive.
And during the trial, Gordon represented himself. He literally told the jury he deserved to die for what he did. Said his actions were evil and horrible.
Yeah, and that's what's so unnerving. It's like he had this mix of remorse and control. He didn't fight the charges. In fact, he fired his public defender because she wouldn't let him plead guilty.
That's a wild legal strategy. Some people thought he was just trying to torment the victims' families, but others saw it as him wanting to own his fate. Like he was steering the ship straight into the rocks on purpose.
Still, that doesn't bring the women back. And the emotional weight during sentencing, it was crushing. The mothers gave heartbreaking statements. One said she told her grandkids their mother became a star in the sky.
God, that line broke me. And Catherine Menzies, Kiana Jackson's mom, she said Gordon confirming her daughter's death at least gave her closure. She'd been holding on to hope, thinking her daughter might have been trafficked.
Then there's Gordon's breakdown in court. He cried when they spoke, said, "I'm sorry for everything, but those are hollow words," and he called Cano a coward for not testifying. There's this strange contradiction, like he wanted justice, but also wanted to shift part of the blame.
Yeah, that whole dynamic between them is weird. Gordon painted Cano as the more violent one. He even said Cano stomped on Estep's neck after she started moving again. But Gordon still admitted, "I'm just as responsible."
It's such a morally tangled mess. Even in his taped confession, Gordon talks about being driven by rage, toward the system, toward his ex-wife. It's like all this anger just exploded into this horrific spree.
And yet he showed moments of humanity. He said he kissed Estep and apologized before Cano killed her. That contrast is hard to wrap your head around.
And the logistics. They went out looking for sex workers on nights before trash pickup. They knew what they were doing. That's not a heat-of-the-moment thing. That's methodical.
Which makes you wonder, if Estep's body hadn't been found, would they have just kept going?
Hard to say. Gordon himself said, "I can't say yes and I can't say no." That's chilling. Like even he wasn't sure where the line was anymore.
And now he's on death row, sentenced on his birthday of all days, February 3rd, 2017. The judge basically just nodded at him and said, "Good luck, sir."
There's a cold finality to that, but also a massive systemic lesson here. 2 GPS-tracked offenders, committing crimes right under watch. This wasn't just personal evil, it was bureaucratic failure.
Totally. And it's a stark reminder that tech like GPS monitors are only as good as the people interpreting that data. No one was connecting the dots.
Exactly. Gordon and Cano wore those monitors the whole time, but no one compared their location data until it was too late.
So, final thought. Do you think the death penalty was the right call?
Honestly, in this case, probably. Not just because of the severity, but because Gordon himself embraced it. It's grim, but it might be the only sentence that made sense to him and the families.
Yeah. And maybe for the victims' families, that kind of closure is the only justice that's even close to fitting.
It's haunting stuff. So for anyone listening, what do you think? Should tech like GPS monitoring be expanded? Or is the real issue how we use it?
We'll leave that hanging. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there.